You will hear two students discussing an upcoming field trip to a bison reserve. First, you have some time to read through questions 1 to 4. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
So, are you excited about our field trip to the bison reserve? I'm really looking forward to seeing all the American bison, or buffalo as they are sometimes called.
Yeah, it should be really fun. What do you think about the presentation each of us has to give once we return from the trip? I thought our professor would have us submit a report or take a test instead.
It actually seems like an interesting assignment, especially since he expects us to interview the rangers who work at the reserve. I'm sure they will have a lot of useful information to share.
Good point. I plan to ask them whether the bison ever cause problems for ranchers in the area. I read that some local residents were opposed to the creation of the reserve.
Really? Why?
Well, bison generally inhabit grassland areas rather than mountains or forests. Of course, this is the same type of land that ranchers need for cows.
That makes sense. It's almost as if cows and bison are competing for resources.
Exactly. This is the topic I'm planning to discuss for the assignment. Hopefully I can find out more about this at the information center. Our professor mentioned that we'd be stopping by there.
What will we be doing at the information center?
Taking part in an orientation. When we first arrive, an employee will give a brief lecture about the history of the reserve.
Great. Maybe I can get some information for the assignment at that time.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you can read through questions 5 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
Oh, I meant to ask you about the topic you've chosen. What do you plan to focus on?
I want to talk about how the bison were saved from extinction. In the early 1800s, there were around 40 million bison living in North America. However, by 1900, only 300 or so remained in the wild.
Really? Was that due to natural predators?
Bison are large enough that they don't really have to worry about other animals. Wolves sometimes attack bison, but this does not lead to many deaths.
Then what caused such a dramatic decline in population?
Overhunting by humans. Bison were an important source of food for early European settlers. In addition, their hides were used to make leather.
It's hard to believe that people could kill so many animals in such a short time period.
The European settlers were very efficient hunters. Take William Cody, for example. He had a contract to supply meat to the army. He is reported to have killed 4,282 bison in an 18-month period.
So, what led to the rise in numbers? Our professor mentioned that there are over 350,000 bison in North America today.
A couple of things, actually. First, bison hunting became strictly regulated. Only a limited number of permits to kill bison are issued each year. Also, large areas of land were set aside for these animals to live on. Like the reserve we are visiting today.
So they were classified as an endangered species?
Right. But it's important to keep in mind that bison are no longer in danger of extinction. In fact, there are even privately owned herds of domesticated bison.
You mean something similar to cattle ranches?
Exactly. The bison are raised for their meat. Bison meat is sold in many restaurants in the United States now.
Interesting. I think we are going to learn a lot on this field trip.